a friend of the program, back here again, my colleague from the NFL Media Group, and in my mind, a future Hall of Fame wide receiver, my colleague from the NFL Media Group, Steve Smith. How are you, Steve Smith Sr.?
What's going on, Rich? It's good to hear from you.
It's been no. When you say that in that inflection, it means like I'm not reaching out to you, Steve. Is that what you're implying right there, or am I just being a little sensitive right now?
You're just being sensitive. I was just talking about the pandemic. We haven't been able to travel for 2 months.
Now I feel like garbage.
But if you feel some type of way and tell it on yourself, then that's on you, brother.
All right. It's good talking to you, Steve. Oh, man. So let's hit the Wayback Machine. Let's start our conversation in the Wayback Machine. What was it like for you Wednesday before your Super Bowl? It was the first one we ever covered for NFL Network. What was it like? What was going through your temples?
Man, it was the first one you guys covered, and it ended up being the last one the first one I covered as with the NFL Network back in Houston after I retired. So it was amazing. A lot of feelings, uneasiness. You know, when you're going, you know what you have experienced, you know what you've done to get here, but there still is that 50-50. 50% you can lose, 50% you can win, and then the unexpected. And I think that's what gets you more than anything is you're not sure what's going to happen. I think more of anything with everything going on. You see Tyreek Hill talking about, keeping distance himself from people, making sure that, no COVID-19 or any false positives or, contact tracing. So I think I think this one is like winning a lotto, except the only part is you don't get to buy the ticket. You just know you're not going to win if you run into the risk of contracting or getting a false positive before the game.
So I talked to Willie about the matchup of these two stellar Bucs linebackers in David and White with Travis Kelce coming at them. So I'd love to hit you on the other matchup that seems to be so problematic for the Bucs, and it certainly was in the first quarter of their Week 12 match up in the regular season. Tyreek Hill, how do you think Todd Bowles switches it up or tightens it up against a guy who went off 3 touchdowns and damn near 300 yards receiving in Week 12 against him?
Well, he has to tighten it up and switch it up. But I think that's the chess match is their defense, their D-line with Vita Vea coming back. I think they do create a bigger issue for the Kansas City Chiefs because they don't have their left tackle, right? And they have Mike Remmers, and not every player in the league is a great player. Sometimes they're just guys who are there. And Mike Remmer, he was here in Carolina and then moved on to Minnesota, and now he's out there. He wasn't necessarily a starter. He's a backup. He can block. But this is the last game of the season. This is a Super Bowl, the creme de la creme. All the chips are on the table. So you would imagine they're going to try to attack the weakest link. And the weakest link isn't necessarily because he's not very good. It's because he's the new guy on the block. There's a reason why he was not starting. He was not the guy. So, unfortunately, we may find that out. And Jason Pierre-Paul is, he's no slouch, and he's gonna let you know that he's present on the field. These DBs are gonna have to step up because this offense for the Kansas City Chiefs is explosive, and Coach Andy Reid is masterful. When he has a couple of days off, when he has a week to prepare, he's going to take what we call Jedi mind trick, window dressing. He's going to take his tendencies, utilize it against you, and dangle that carrot, make you try to bite for it, and then double move you. So you got to be prepared for that, and then that means you're not going to bite on the double move. So they're going to do some things that make you second guess, make you stop your feet. And when you have speedsters like Mecole Hardman, like Tyreek Hill, when you stop your feet and those guys are running 19, 18 miles, 21-plus miles per hour, and you stop your feet, you're not going to catch up. By the time you catch up, they're across the finish line, which is the end zone.
How would you have handled back in the day prior to the Super Bowl if there was a Scotty Miller saying, I'm faster than Steve Smith? How would you handle that?
I mean, I watch Scotty. He's fast. I don't necessarily know how fast he is, but I love his confidence. I tell my kids all the time, it's hard for me to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. So he believes in himself. I think it'd be entertaining. If he wins, great. If he loses, great. He's in the conversation, and that's the whole point.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a minute again, as you pointed out, since we've spoken here on this show. If you go higher register, as you just did to start your comment about Scotty Miller, you don't really maybe believe it. You need to go, I'm way up here, like you just started your statement with Scotty Miller. So did that just happen? The thing is, I don't want to doubt the man. Yes.
But again, I also see Tyreek Hill, and I've seen him more than I've seen Scotty Miller.
Yes.
So it's almost, I love food and I use food analogies. It's a peanut butter jelly sandwich or grilled cheese. I mean, it really depends on what's, is this tomato bisque? Then I'm going with the grilled cheese.
Mm-hmm. So which one is which in your... Is Tyreek the PBJ or which one is he? It depends on the bisque.
Day, but listen,
I see.
I'm not going against Tyreek Hill, and if Scotty Miller proves me wrong, hey, I've been wrong many times before.
It seems Steve Smith Sr. It seems that this is the mother of all. Can't bet against this guy. Super Bowl. You could sit here and go, well, hey, Chiefs X, Y, and Z, but how are you going to bet against Tom Brady or Bucs X, Y, Z? But how are you going to bet against Mahomes or Kelsey or obviously Hill? It's just and then Evans has done something with 7,000-yard seasons to start his career. No other human has ever done, and Godwin and Gronk, and this is it. I mean, how do you is this the most talented Super Bowl you've seen?
I believe.
What do you think here?
I was thinking about this. This reminds me of when I was growing up and watching football. The NFC, when it was the Green Bay Packers with Sterling Sharp, or was it Michael Irvin? With the Cowboys, or was it Jerry Rice with the San Francisco 49ers? You have just such dominant teams that whoever you pick, you can't go wrong because they've shown us that they have the capability of playing excellent football. And so for me, offensively, if you're an offensive guy or you're a county who loves numbers, this is where you sit on the couch. You go ahead and tell your workout person, your nutritionist, I'm off this weekend. Sunday is my multiple cheat day on steroids. And I am going to eat, drink, and watch football because it's going to be high flying. And you got to follow it up with some great beverages because you're just going to be eating. And as T.O. says, bring your popcorn. I mean, you got to have the appetizer with your wings. You got to have your main course, which is pizza. And then you got to have your dessert, which is cake, pie, whatever it is, a ho-ho, a ding-dong. But you got to just pig out because it's going to be epic football. And we're at the house. Everybody has the COVID 20, 15, 10, whatever it is. And this is a great excuse to do it.
You go, Steve Smith getting a round of applause here in the Rich Eisen Show studio. So you go hostess for your desserts? Is that where you're going? The hostess? The ho-hos, the ding-dongs? Is that where you go?
Honestly, it depends on the day, but I will sneak in a zinger or I like the chocolate Twinkies.
Oh. Wow. Okay. By the way, this entire segment is making me hungry.
I'm
Del Tufo can't handle it right now.
Steve, what are you doing to me?
He's out of his mind right now. Okay. So what do you make of Deshaun Watson's situation, Steve Smith? What did you do? What advice would you give him right now? Yeah. What do you think? Where do you go with him?
Listen, it's crazy and it's bananas. I'll be honest. I'm not a huge fan of Culley. I don't think listen, when you're 65 years old, and the first-time head coach, I look at it, why? And there's a reason. I don't know the answer, but I know when you're 65 years old and you're just getting an opportunity to be a head coach, there might be reasons why. And then he was also the pass coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. How is that working out for the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs? They're dead last. Now, some people will say I'm hating or I'm throwing shade. It's possibly true because I have a history with David Culley because he was the coach at the Pro Bowl who told me to go on over with the go over with the specialist. So I think he doesn't necessarily know how to eye talent. When you go back into his catalog of wide receivers of developing, he's had some good wide receivers, veterans on the team, but you never really seen him develop any wide receivers under his tenure. Kansas City Chiefs, he was with them. When did they win the Super Bowl? After he was gone, right? I just, my job is to look at coaches and players, and sometimes I get a bad rap as I'm uber critical, but I just don't see a guy who has never really had responsibilities to this depth being successful when your team is in shambles because your quarterback doesn't want to be there, and then you go on the podcast and you're down talking some of your wide receivers that you coached. And now you're talking about other people when your quarterback, your franchise, the face of your team, doesn't want to be there. I think you probably should be investing your time and equity in things that are productive. And I think he's going to be, I think it's a Wally Pip. All these great coordinators out here, I think in 2-3 years they found out that was a mistake, he'd be moved on.
So, two things real quick. He's got a no-trade clause, and the Texans say they have no intention of trading him. So what move do you make if you're him?
Well, there's a lot of things that people say in front of camera, but a lot of things go on behind closed doors. And I believe Deshaun, if he really wants to get out of there, I think he can. I also believe that the way they've operated, the way they've done things, I think it has rubbed him the wrong way. And I'm not really sure that this relationship will get better because I believe, and what I've heard is, Deshaun was supposed to be part of some of the dialogue and conversations and input through the steps which the Houston Texans said they would allow him to be part of the process. He has not been part of the process in those steps. And so he believes, from my interpretation of things, that if they told me this and then they did that, what else are they going to do in my future that is going to not align with what their words are saying? You got to understand, he gets no do-over. And sometimes money, just because you pay someone, doesn't mean they're going to do everything you want them to do. Not everybody you can buy. And I think he's at the position, he knows his value, and I believe he feels that maybe I would just prefer to go somewhere else and start over because I can't trust them.
And then David Culley, Steve, are you talking about a 20-year-old Grudge with him where you made the Pro Bowl as a rookie?
No, I'm not talking. I'm just giving context of why. I'm just giving context of, it's not a grudge. It's one of the things is when I look at if Rich, you've been doing this for a long time.
I have.
If you weren't very good in it, you wouldn't be doing it this long. So if all of a sudden you're an analyst and you've never hosted, and then you go out there and host, and then you stumble over yourself, that would kind of say you're probably not a good host.
So what happened in 2001? You made it as a kick returner, right? As a rookie, you're a rookie,
yes.
right? And
yes.
And you tell the story. Go ahead.
So here's what happened. So I was a rookie. I think this is the year that the Rams lost to Tom Brady and New England Patriots.
Yes, sir.
They didn't come to the Pro Bowl. That was when the Pro Bowl was in Hawaii. And after the Super Bowl, he didn't come. So John Harbaugh said, hey, they're down a wide receiver. Go over there. It was, you know how to catch punts.
Mm-hmm.
The punter, Todd Salenbrook, was not always punctual with time. So he said, go over there. They need a body. Go run. I know Jermaine Lewis will be running some plays for the AFC, so go ahead. Go over there. Culley says, hey, we're about to meet, so go ahead and go with back with the special teams. I said, well, the special teams coach Harbaugh told me to come over here. Well, these are wide receivers. That's what he said. And I walked back over there, and he told me, he goes, oh. And so after that, it just kind of tells me. So the reason I say that is, to this day, Coach Culley will say, like you said, you still holding that grudge. It's not holding a grudge. It's the fact I was a Pro Bowler. I was also, you were down a wide receiver. And the fact of the matter is, you scooted me along because you didn't believe I was a real wide receiver. So that tells me your eye for athleticism and talent is as good as Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder's eyes. You know I could do this all day.
and we would like you to.
But he is going to has to go.
He's got things to do.
I've been told. But I love you, Steve. Okay. Cut to it. You're podding now, huh? I love it.
Yeah.
Can I come on your podcast? I owe you so much. You come on you came my pod. You've come on this show. Will you have me on? Let's do this. Seriously.
Absolutely. I would love to have you on.
Please.
I'll have my people contact your people. Right? Hey, when listen.
You know where to reach me.
You can't be the only one flexing. You know, I'm not on Peacock, but hey, I can have my dude text your dude, and then we could play the whole. Let me check my schedule.
No, I hear you. You could do that for sure. But I could at least attest to the fact the reason why it's taken this long for me to get your podcast doesn't mean that you can't podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I'm not.
You just got your opportunity now. You're not the David Culley of podcasting, is what I'm saying. You got the Culley of podcasting.
I joke around, but it's at the end of it. I love doing it because I love talking to guys and finding out and girls finding out who they are. We're interviewing. I believe next week we're interviewing Jennifer King, the new full-time coach for the Washington football team, and so excited about that. So we have all kind of folk on there. So we love to have you on there to just hear who you are and what makes you tick, other than the mic and on subject.
I'd love it, Steve. I really would. I really, really would. And then I'm not just saying that. For real. Please reach out to me.
You know
how I can be. I'll be around for sure. Steve, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. I'll see you. Am I seeing you in Tampa, or are you just you're?
No. I'm here in Charlotte.
Okay,
it's you know how it is, man. It's craziness, and
it is.
To be honest, I don't want a Q-tip up my nose every 5 minutes. I prefer not.
You know what? I totally can relate, and that way you can just be part of the program, and then go have your ho-hos and ding-dongs and pizzas and whatever you got for Super Sunday, and then we'll have you on right after that. How does that sound? I love it.
That works.
You take care. You be well.
All right.
There you go. Steve Smith, everybody. Check out Cut to It, the new pod where all pods are available, and Steve will be part of 9.5 hours. 8.5 hours. I'm extending it because we need to have more time for